Hello, hello, hello. Guess what day it is? It's a Wednesday. It's not a Tuesday, it's not a Thursday, it's not a Saturday, it's a Wednesday. This is Qigong. I'm Jordan. We're gonna be some wild geese today. And by we I mean the royal we, me and the one viewer tuned in who I believe is myself. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's play. Do some warm-ups, do some movement details, and then we'll do the form together. So just starting with the waist rotations, keeping the head still, keeping the feet still, letting the movement be in the middle, at the waist, the diameridian, the meridian that wraps around all the other meridians. Since the meridians run up and down the trunk, and then massage up and down, left and right on the kidney points, shoe kidney points, and rotate the other direction. The feet are together for this. Again, just aiming at keeping the head still, feet still, feeling the bottom of the feet on the floor. And then bring palm over palm, lagong over lagong into middle dantian and massaging the chest. Switching which hand is on top, massaging the other direction. And then we'll do the hip rotations. So hands or fingers, palms or fingers into Huan Tiao, which is the um, the divot in the buttock, the hip joint there. And we'll do hip rotations. The feet are shoulder wide, parallel. Same idea as the waist rotations of keeping the head stationary, just like the feet are stationary, and letting all the movement happen from the hips. The hips are making the widest orbit around your center. And the rest of the body is accommodating that orbit, including the feet as the weight shifts around on them. And ideally also going as far back as you go to the side and forward, spending as much time in each direction as the others. But balance is elusive. Each time you rotate, it's going to be slightly different. And massaging Huan Tiao and massaging the lower back. And then we'll do hip rotations in the other direction. I think that attendance is low tonight because I didn't get my email out until very late today. Try and get it out on Tuesday in the future. I mean to get it out a day ahead of time, but actions aren't intent. Or intent isn't actions. Both is true. And palm over palm into lower dantian, massaging one direction. Switching which hand is on top, massaging the other direction. And feet together, bending the knees. Palms resting lightly on the knees, eyes out in front of you, and knee rotations, keeping the back straight. And first round, keeping the heels connected to the floor and then massaging the knees in, out, up, in, down. Then knee rotations the other direction. Eyes out in front for stability, and hands just resting lightly on the knees. And then massaging the kneecaps out, in, up, out, down, in, up. And then deeper knee rotations, letting the heels come up. And then massaging down the sides of the legs. Switching direction again. Knee rotations to the left, heels coming up off the floor, but the ball of the foot remains connected to the floor. Opening up shoulder width to massage the insides of the legs. Putting feet back together, interlacing fingers, and pushing down the front of the body. Bring the circle out, up in front, eyes are following along, palms come in, and mind follows through the body, through the dantians, eyes follow out, and alternate between those two. As the mind follows down, the eyes are returning to the horizon. And then pushing up and to the right and to the left. And then pushing down in front, circles in front. And from the upper dantian towards the floor in front, to the right and to the left. Grasping elbows. Can just hang out or grasp ankles. And massaging down the legs. And then patting down the legs. Up to palm. Yeah. Then we'll do some kicks before we do chin to toe. So palms on the kidneys and kicking out across the body with the heels first. So that's down the bottom of the leg. Through the bottom of the leg, out through the heel. And after a ton of those, can kick down the top of the leg through the toe. Again, across the body, and with each kick, bring the foot quietly to the floor. And if you want some extra strengthening out of it, you can, instead of bringing the foot back and down, you can kick out and bring it down in an arc. So a little bit more of a strengthening exercise. And then we'll go into chin to toe. So first on the right side, right foot out at an angle, grasping elbow, lining the torso, and circles down the top of the leg, up the foot towards yourself. Eyes are on the floor, kind of touching lightly. Behind the teeth, on the palate, roof of the mouth. Extension through the back of the leg. And then reaching with 10 fingers, 5 on each hand, into the floor, just like the eyes. Chin and toes are aligned to each other. And massage. And pat down the leg. And shifting the weight forward, protecting the back on the way up, and can walk it off a bit. And then the left side. Left foot is out at an angle, torso aligns, grasping elbows, and folding at the hua or hip, and circles with the elbows down the top of the leg, up the toe, back towards yourself, eyes into the floor, chin, toe, tongue touching lightly. And then reaching out with 10 fingers. 5 on each hand. Eyes are still on the floor, to the floor. And massage. A little harder as you go down on the outside and a little harder as you come up on the inside. And then patting down the leg, getting all the joints. Coming up and walking it off. Back to the right. This time 6 fingers, 3 on each hand. Folding. Eyes meet the floor, fingers into the floor, pointing at the floor. Chin and toe talking to each other. Breath just coming naturally, allowing you to sink into the extension through the back of the leg, bottom of the leg. 2 fingers, 1 on each hand. And grasping toe. And massage. And pat. Protecting the back on the way up. Walking it off. And back to the left. Left foot out at an angle. The right foot is bearing the weight, aligning the torso. 6 fingers total, 3 on each hand. Folding over. Eyes into the floor, fingers into the floor. Chin and toe connecting, even if not physically, just with the mind. And then 2 fingers, 1 on each hand. And grasping toe. Massage. And pat. Touching the back on the way up. Walking it off. And then we're ready for some more kicks. So protect the back and we'll be kicking through the bottom of the leg, the back of the leg, through the heel first. And noticing if it feels any different than the kicks that we did before, chin to toe. And then with the toes. And with these kicks, as we protect the back, the idea is to also keep that stack even as we're kicking, from lower dantian being stable, middle dantian resting on top of that, upper dantian resting on top of that, so the kick isn't back like this or kicking forward like that, but maintaining that stack and kicking across the body. Foot comes down quietly, so you've got the balance, stack, and stability even through What are these? Vigorous movements? Quick movements? Snappy movements? Okay. And then upper body, right hand over the left shoulder, left hand in front of the face, looking to the right. Wrapping around the palms pointed at the ears. Tongue touching lightly. And relax. Other side, left hand over right shoulder. Right hand in front of the face, looking to the left. Relaxing. And then right hand over left shoulder again. Left hand in front of the face. Look to the right. Relaxing. And left hand over right shoulder. Right hand in front of the face. Looking to the left. Palms aligned to the ears. Without touching them. Don't need to touch. Relax. And then we'll do some more patting massages on the corner of the shoulder and underneath in the armpit. And actually working with that heart point under the armpit in the skim over water movements, the 7 steps that we'll be looking at today. There's alignment to that point. And then we'll do the arm rotation. So the left leg is bent, left hand is on that leg, right leg is extended, torso is aligned with the bent forward leg, and the right arm hangs loosely and then comes up and back. And effortless effort, letting gravity do the work on the way down and momentum do the work on the way up. Switching directions so that the arm is coming down in front and up and back. And then turning around, pivoting on the left heel, pivoting on the right heel. The right leg is bent and left leg is straight. Left arm comes up and back around. Up in front, down and back. Momentum in front, gravity in back. Momentum up, gravity down. And switching directions, down in front, up and back. And then letting the arms hang loose and some more patting massages, slapping massages. Turning around. And some more of those, standing on top of the shoulder and across the back. Feet back together and massaging in circles on UB23, shoe kidney points, and then Dabao, and lower lymph nodes, and the chest coming from the center of middle dantian in front over the collarbone, thumbing with the fingers to penetrate through the chi in that area and switching hands. And then we'll do shoulder rub and get some pat back there as well. Other arm. And some pets. And then from the very tips of the fingers, including the thumb, up the arm, past the shoulder. You can have the arm across the body like as we kick. Same thing can happen here to get the very tips of the fingers in this brushing, and then down from the shoulder, down the inside of the arm, past the fingers. And other direction, or other side, but also the other direction. We're coming up the arm again, getting the tips of the left hand, left fingers, up past the left shoulder, and down the inside left. Giving the hand some shake out, and then letting the arms shake out, letting the shoulders shake out, letting everything shake out. And then we'll do the fingertip to fingertip. Past the webbing, past the wrist. And other hand. And massaging the palm, lagom, warming it up, and bring that warmth to the ends of the fingers. Other side, warming up the palm. And bring the warmth up to the ends of the fingers, one by one, and then twice on the pinky, on the inside and along the outside. Why don't we do Hugu as well, massaging Hugu in the meaty part in between the thumb and the pointer finger. Other side. Okay, then can do the neck, massaging the neck and a little bit of the shoulder. Switching which hands doing the massaging. And that brings us to the front of the neck, the beauty move. So brushing up from the collarbone past the end of the chin from one side to the other, and then back again. And switching which hand is doing the brushing. Again, going from one side to the other, and back again. And then we'll do some other head massages, doing the temple. Doing the corners of the eyes. Corners of the nose. And brushing the mouth with a V. Cradling with the hand that's not doing the brushing and being sure to get both corners of the mouth. Other hand. Ears. Getting the lobes. Getting the whorls. And then forming these with the fingers again and doing from the chin or cheeks up on either side of the ear, in front and in back of the ears. And then drums of heaven, so palms on ears and drumming with the fingertips. And then wash, face, comb, hair, so feet are together and we brush up, combing with the fingers through the chest, through the neck, face, up over the head, around the back of the head, and goodbye sludge, goodbye sleepy chi, goodbye slimy chi, any chi you don't want, whatever is undesirable chi, whatever's weighing you down or annoying you today, goodbye to that chi before we start completing the head orbit in a sphere, gathering good chi, whatever chi we're looking for, want today, gathering it to ourselves, getting ourselves in a good headspace for the one leg stand. So bringing weight into the left leg, the right leg can up off the floor, can play with the ankle, can do heel, toe, can lift the leg, focusing the whole time on the connection of the leg, the left leg to the ground, and the stability it provides to lower dantian, which in turn comes to middle dantian and then upper dantian, and then as the right foot comes down, letting the weight shift slowly. And then the left leg is free, the right leg is the stabilizer, and can play with the ankle, can play with heel toe on the floor, can lift the leg, left foot coming back down quietly, slowly transferring weight. Right leg comes up, can play with it however you like, can lift the leg, and bring the foot down quietly, transferring weight consciously, and the left leg comes up. And left leg comes back down, and then we'll stretch out the inside of the leg, so bending the left leg, right leg is extended, right hand is down, pointing past the end of the right foot, left hand can form a claw, or support yourself with it. And switching sides, so that the right leg is bent, the left hand is pointing out past the ends of the feet, forming a claw with the right hand. Eyes following the left hand down past the left foot, extended left foot. Coming back to the center and massaging up the insides of the legs. Walking the feet towards the center. And then we'll do some walking kicks. So protecting the back, kicking with the heels first. And ideally bringing the feet down quietly as we do this, just like the earlier kicks. And you can play with what is quieter to you or more mindful to you or easier to you, or more difficult to you, if it's the heel, coming down on the heel or coming down on the toe, you can do either. And kicking with the toes, but just being conscious of what touches the ground first, whether it is the heel or the toe, and then letting the weight come to the rest of the foot. If you're coming down with the toe first, letting it come down through the heel. If you're coming down on the heel, then letting the weight gradually come and also be supported by the ball of the foot. And then doing the Achilles tendon. And walking meditation, gathering chi into lower dantian as the hands come out. Active. As they come in, they're gathering lower dantian. And with each step, maintaining the stack and carrying it forward. All the dantians moving forward simultaneously. Again, whether you're landing on the heel or landing on the toe, bringing yourself forward. Always doing so that the upper, middle, and lower dantian are on top of each other. Okay. And do a single bow before we move into the movements for the day. We'll review 53, 54, 55, which is what we got through last week. Last week, there was the ambitious agenda of getting through 2 of the 7 steps. Got through 1 of them, which is already a lot of information and quite good. So, to review, we were doing the soaring to each side 7 times. Soar to the side 7 times. And that was after we had come up, expelled, brought it back, shook 3 times. And on the final of the 3 shakes, after resting as long as we shook, the hands come up to shoulder high, deliberately, and the right foot comes in bearing the weight, the left foot comes out, and right hand is that lower dantian, left hand is that upper dantian, aligning the torso to the left extended foot. Left hand comes down as they're following it, and we look forward. And the left hand and right hand, the Lao Gong, are aligned with each other, pointed into lower dantian as we step forward. And the right foot comes forward, the right hand comes up the midline of the body, torso aligns to the right hand comes down, and it just goes back and forth like that. With each step, the light foot is touching just with the pinky or with the side of the foot. It's open so that the bubbling spring point is off of the ground, and all of the weight is in your back bent leg. So we'll say this is 6, and then let this be 7. And then we learned the turning around. So as the hand comes down on the left after the 7th, the right hand comes out away from you so that they're together, and then pivoting on the left heel and pivoting on the right heel. And the whole time the hands are fluttering in towards lower dantian, and then fluttering up, eyes following the hands up, fluttering down, fluttering forward, and that whole movement is the flying up. So that gets us through movement number 55, that was flutter up or fly up. And then we get to do this week's movements. 56 is skim over water. So these 7 steps are the ones we're excited for this week. The next 2 movements we learn, turning around and fluttering up again, those are going to be quite similar. For this, what we do is we transfer the weight into the right, and the left foot comes forward, and then we flutter down, folding from the quad and aligning the palms to each knee. And even if you don't come down all the way and you're protecting your back by staying further upright. The idea is still pointing the palms at the knees, and then from the knees coming up to the left. And as you do that, the left and right hand are both pointing backwards towards your back, which means that the left thumb is pointing down and the right thumb is pointing up. And they're both shaking. The left hand can be slightly above the head, but it really doesn't need to be that high. If you try to get it up too high, then you're going to crunch your shoulder or scrunch your shoulder. So it's better to keep the shoulder relaxed and keep the left wing extended, thumb pointing down, and the middle finger of the right hand is pointing into the middle of the armpit, the heart point there. So that the palm is aligned to the chest, but the middle finger is aligned to the middle of the armpit. And then, since we're all the way up, then we can transfer our weight. So again, stack, middle, lower, upper, down, moving forward together. The right foot coming forward. And the previous moves we had the toe, the bubbling spring point off the floor. For this one, it's connected. The ball of the foot is on the floor. Even though the foot is light and there's no weight on it, it's there for stability if we need it. And as we come down, it's following the meridian down the inside spleen meridian. And first, the right hand passes the left knee and the right knee. And then once it's totally passed, the left hand comes past the left knee and the right knee. So it's never both hands at the knees at the same time after the first time. That doesn't really happen again. And then moving forward, number 3, all the way up. And that's the checkpoint. Once you're all the way up and your eyes looking at the left hand fluttering, then the weight shifts forward, the right foot comes out. And the shorter you make these steps, the more stable it's going to be. And then fluttering down, right hand, left knee, left hand, left knee, right knee. Fluttering up to the right, and on the way up it follows the meridian up the inside of the body as well. And the eyes are on the hand that's closer to the head, and everything shifts forward, dantians shifting forward together, and fluttering down. This is number 5, but let's call it number 7. And after number 7, what we do is we just flutter down to lower dantian for the turnaround, and we pivot on left heel, pivot on right heel, we're turned around, and then we fly up, flutter to the sides, flutter forward, and next move. That's on to move number 59, but we won't go there. Not this week. Next week. Trying to think if there's anything else particular to share about this. As you're coming up, the arm doesn't need to be so far behind you that you're really torquing the knee or through the waist too much. It is a bit of a spiraling like we have in turning around at other points in the form, but not so much that you're not trying to get 180 degrees back. Maybe 45 degrees or 30 from there. It don't need to be too far back. And as you're coming down, it's going to be some combination of letting the bent leg squat and the waist or the hips fold. And by doing both the squat of the leg and the fold of the hips, then you can very easily keep the back straight as you're bring the hands across and then back up again. And if your knee isn't agreeing with that, then you can maybe do more with the hips. If the hips aren't agreeing, you can maybe do more with the knee. If neither is agreeing, don't worry about getting low and just keep the palms lined with the knees. Keep that connection happening, and then again on the way up, follow the meridian up the leg, up the inside of the body, to the armpit, eyes on the hand that's up. And once you get to that point where the hand is up and you're upright and you're feeling that stack, then the eye and the attention comes through the arm into the armpit, and then suddenly your armpit hand is the yang, active hand, and it comes down. The eyes are with that active hand as it flutters down the side of the body through the meridian to the knee, past the other knee. Then the left hand, knee, knee, and the eyes are still on that left hand as it comes up, as thumb is pointing down, stepping forward. Once you find that stable stack and having the checkpoint of, okay, my hand is up, I see it, my attention comes through here, and then I can feel that through the ground. The light foot becomes heavy as I move forward, right foot out, and then after the left foot is the stable one and has some bend to it, can come down. Other side, checkpoint, eyes on the hand that has the thumb pointing down, attention comes to the hand where the thumb is pointing up in the armpit, and the weight transfers forward, finding the connection to the ground. Small step, and then we're skimming over the water again, back and forth, skimming, skimming, skimming. Just skimming, making little waves. Maybe catching some fish, but searching food is next. Don't actually eat any of the fish you might catch as you're skimming. That's it. That's what I got on the skim over water. But let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, excitements, dreads. Sometimes the moves aren't easy. Each one presents unique challenges and insights. So it's all a learning experience, and it continues to teach. Endless steps. Okay, so with that, can transition into doing the form. Why don't we do 3 bows? Can do a bow to each other for joining together today. A bow recognizing our teachers, Huilu, Yang Mijun, the form. And a bow recognizing heaven, earth, then the space in between where we get to flutter around like geese, goose, goslings. I don't know any other words for geese. Those are the 3 words I know. Flock, a flock geese. So find your space. Shake out anything that is in need before we do the form together. Maybe it's your mouth that needs to run a little bit so that it can quiet down. And leave the tongue touching lightly on the palate. And then begin folding. Hands come down, scooping up, open to the sky. Into lower dantian. Chest high, elbows drop, fingers lead the way. Set wings, expel. Once again. Hands past the neck, past the face, up over the head. Elbows out, fingers interlace. Turning the hands over, pushing up. Holding from the wall. Coming up. Push down on the left, push down on the right. Back to center, fingers and hands come apart. We rock forward. We rock back. Claw above collarbone, macrocosmic orbit. Flat. 2, 3. Right hand out. Right hand in. Claw. Left hand macrocosmic orbit. Connect. And flip. 2, 3. Left hand passes left foot to the chest. Rise up. Right hand comes down and stir. Hands land at the waist for wave hands like clouds. Eyes following the hand, back around. On the left. Right. On the left, we spiral around, rinse waist. Raise single wing. Wrap around the head. Palms are aligning below the collarbone. And then right hand lands above the collarbone to drag moon from water. The outer moon. We turn around. Step forward. And then look at the moon. Inner moon. Charge the boosters. That is not the official name, but that's what it feels like to me. Gotta charge up these legs. 2, 3, and then we get to flutter. Fluttering up to the sides, fluttering to the back, leaning forward, looking 10 feet far. Fluttering forward and down to lower dantian, up to the left. Lower dantian, up to the right. Lower dantian, up to the left. Lower dantian, and then we get to drink the water that we were flying over. Drinking the water. 2. On our third sip, we flutter, bring the right foot up to the left, and land the palms at lower dantian to shake and rest. Shake, rest. Shake, rest. And grasping chi. Total of 10. Eyes alternating between meeting the hand and returning to the horizon. And grasping chi with the palms up. Nine and 10. Uncurling the fingers, spiraling up past the face, gathering a big ball of chi, Bringing it over to the left. Right hand top of left hand and massaging that ball of chi in towards lower dantian as we move from the left to the right. Turning the ball over and again massaging in towards lower dantian as we move from the right to the left. And massaging back to the front, coming up, storing chi lower dantian, rising up the chest through the dantians. Another big ball. And standing meditation. Okay, rising up, palms to upper dantian, down the midline of the body, till the fingers are pointing down, coming around the sides. Kugu to Huantiao, arms rise up off the heels. Expel, fingers up, fingers forward, claws to the back. Massaging activity, and then being still for as long as you are active. Shaking again, still. Settling. Shaking, still. And hands come up in front. First of the 7 steps. We're soaring. Very relaxed. Effortless effort, letting the wind carry us along. Enjoying the ride of the drafts. 6, 7, we begin to flutter again and we're flying up, gaining altitude, altitude, altitude. And then we're skimming over the water, making little waves. Each time as we come up, aligning fingertip into the armpit. 5, 6, and 7. After the 7th one, bring the hands to lower dantian, pivoting on the left heel, pivoting on the right heel, fluttering up to the sides, forward, and searching for food. The 3rd set of 7 steps. Number 6 and number 7. Palm to each knee, palms to lower dantian. No fluttering as we pivot on the left heel, pivot on the right heel. Stepping forward, building the nest, the 4th of the 7 steps. On the right, we do it twice. And back to the front, to the left, front again. For the last of the 7 steps, pushing all the way down, fingers down to the ground and to the sides, and then pivoting on the left heel, pivoting on the right heel, or swinging the right foot around, and then fluttering, coming up, off the heels, fluttering to upper dantian, face, neck, chest, down to lower dantian, land it, and we sweep. Okay, down the heels, rising up. Final close. And finding stillness just as we were at the start of the form. We're bringing the legs together and doing some walking meditation. And you can see how the walking meditation feels after doing the form compared to before at the end of the warm-ups. Relishing the transition back into everyday life, but with a little extra goose gong in ya. May the goose be with you in your travels into the next few hours and days and months and years and lives. Thank you for joining. Got a few minutes left. If there are any questions, you can hit up the chat box or reach out to me via whatever means is comfortable for you, and I'll either answer the questions right then and there or in the next stream. Doing this again tomorrow morning at 7:45. So maybe I'll see you then, or maybe I'll see you Saturday, or maybe I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining. Goose gong into the future. Goodbye. Thank you for coming, recognizing each other, and thanking the form for existing, thanking our teachers for carrying it to us, and thanks to the world for the space to do our goosey things. That is it. That's what I got. Goodbye. Goodbye.